Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little tutorial on the Dual Universe. This is in preparation for the upcoming launch, which is set for the 27th of September 2022. The idea here is to give you some concept of what's going to happen early in the game. There are some things that are unknown at this time as far as the full details, but we'll talk you through as much as we can. And the idea is to create a little set of videos here to help you get from this creation character screen after you've logged in to setting up your factory and getting started. There's a whole lot of stuff that happens in between. I am, as the name says, DU Novice, and one of the things I will do is give you a couple of years of experience to try to pass on what we think is going to happen. I've already played through the New Haven scenario once, so we'll just walk through it and try to give you an idea of what's going on. I'm just going to go with the default settings here. One of the important things to do is determine which of these outposts that you want to spawn with. You're actually going to get like a little mini base to start with, and each one has its advantages and disadvantages. So if I were you, I would take advantage of some of the videos that are out there. If you're already in the game, there's some places that you can VR to and take a look at these. We'll try to get you the links for those and put it in this video. One of the ones I would select is the pilot outpost. The reason I'd select the pilot outpost is because it comes with some things that will help you get out into space and everything. So it comes with some engines and things that would help you out. So every one of them has its own thing. You'll have to figure out which one fits your play style the best and which one you think will help you out. But there's a lot of resources in these that will help you get going. As far as the speeders, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of difference. I got this one last time because it looks cool, really slow. I'm going to try to pick one with less voxel on it this time, meaning all of the fenders and everything, and try to find something that will go a little faster. We'll just try this basic one here. And this puts us into orbit around Haven. Okay, so the idea here is you can look on this planet and you can see, I'm going to use my mouse to scroll in here. You can see here's a market, and all of these red tiles are tiles that have been taken by players, right? And you see they're scattered out. There's one over here and one over here. There's a whole bunch around the market though, because a lot of people want to be close to a market. So we're probably going to find a market, and we're probably going to try to get semi-close to one. Some of the markets aren't used as much as others. I want to try to find one of the markets that is also a station that will allow you to catch a shuttle to Alioth and some of the other locations. There's actually a couple of shuttle locations from these structures, and they also have a market. So it's kind of, in my mind, better to get near the shuttle station with the market than just the market by itself. So I want to pick a spot near this market that hasn't been taken. I'll get as close as I can here. So I'll just pick this spot, and it asks you, do you want to start here? Now, once you pick, you can't undo it. So decide where you want to be. Okay, so let me unselect that real quick. So if you have friends coming down and you're going to be cooperating with some other people, so maybe you've got a clan, or maybe you've got a couple of people that you play with, you want to probably pick an area where, let's say you had 5 of you. You might want to pick an area like this where, you can get those people to come around you, and you can kind of pull your resources together, share access to some of your stuff on your different tiles, and be able to have all of your pinned territories. You'll hear that term used. There's a big pin that pins your territory. So if I was going to have, say, 5 of us playing, maybe I would pick this and we could use these 5 tiles here and work together rather than picking this one and then having to hope nobody picks in between you and takes some of those slots up. So since it's just me, I'm going to pick this tile here. I'm going to start here, and again, once you pick it, you can't undo it. So we've selected our territory, and now I'm going to go ahead and skip the cinematics. So now I'm in this little lander. That's also one of the things we get for free, this little lander. It's going to take me over my tile or my territory, and it's going to land me. Of course, this all takes moments to load up, but it should happen
Greetings,
pretty
settler.
soon.
Congratulations on being chosen for the Rebirth program. Soon, you will join countless others who have also arrived here in the Helios system aboard the Novark. Like them, you will now be known as a Novian. While your lander ship prepares to descend, move your mouse to take in the full view of the breathtaking skies around you.
Okay, so
Below us, you can see Haven. This is a protected area where you can safely begin your journey. Looking around, you will see a pilot's seat. Pilot the lander by looking straight at the seat, then press and hold the interact key.
Okay, so it's giving us instructions, telling us what to do. We'll do that in just a moment. I just wanted to say that when you first sign up for your account, if you get a code from a friend who already has an account, a referral bonus, you'll get some extra things, and they'll get some extra things whenever the launch occurs. Notice I have some talent points that I'm getting here. I would not get those if I had not done a referral bonus with someone and use their referral bonus, and it helps them too. And you get some extra things that you don't normally get. Normally I would only get my blueprint for this item and my blueprint for the building, but I'm getting some extra things. I'm getting an extra container hub, 2 extra small containers, and a static core. Static core is huge, so that's a good thing. All right, so how do I interact? Well, I hold the F key.
Activating final stage rocket.
And everything kind of happens by itself from this point on.
This is the lander from the outside. You can move the mouse to look at it from different angles. While we descend, let me take this opportunity to introduce myself. I am Ophelia, the ArcShip AI. I am here to guide you through your first steps in this universe.
So I'm going to use
Your
the
lander
control
is now
button to
entering
hit my
Haven's
brakes.
atmosphere.
Notice the thing slows down as I hit my brakes. There we go. You don't want to hit too hard,
The
right?
preferred mode of travel in Helios is by ship, so perfecting your piloting skills is paramount. There's no time like the present to begin. Hold the brake to slow your descent. A successful landing will be slow, soft, and safe. The alternative, not so much.
Okay, I'm not holding it now. I'm just waiting till I get closer. I'm going to go ahead and slow down here a little bit. I'm just going to hold it and let it come down, because this doesn't have enough brakes to actually stop it in the air like you can with some of the ships. So it's just going to slow me down, and that's what we want. Now, this lander is got quite a few parts on it that we're going to need later on. So
Deploying territory unit.
there's my territory unit. Like I talked about, we call it a pin.
Congratulations, you have just landed your first ship.
And guess what? This is our
Press and hold
territory.
the
We can't
interact
move
key
it.
to exit the pilot's seat.
Hold an F to exit.
The force fields that were keeping you in the lander are now deactivated, and you are welcome to Haven. After the long journey on the Ark ship, it must feel good to stretch your legs. The territory where you are standing belongs to you. This is where you will build your very own outpost.
Okay,
You can see its borders by toggling the marks.
so there's my outpost. Okay, so if I hit V, I can see the borders.
On the top right of your screen
See
is a
the
mini map showing your
little
territory with your lander in the
wall there?
center. This parcel is about 1 kilometer wide. In the future, you will be able to claim more land, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Now if I hit
Walk around using the
Alt
movement
V,
keys.
I can change what I see.
You can run by holding the shift key while moving.
Okay, so I can, you'll go through the little tutorial where Althea's been talking to you.
You can also sprint forward at greater speed by using your jetpack to hover above the ground. Simply double tap the forward key. Try it now.
So I have it marked so that anytime I hit my V button, I'll see everything. I'll see markets, I'll see other players, unclaimed constructs, alien, space, static, dynamic constructs. So that's all of these buildings and things around us. So again, that's Alt V, Victor. So if I just hit V, it turns it off, hit V, turns it back on. So now I can see the stuff
Good
around
work.
me.
You're doing well so far,
So
but
jump
there's
jet
still
is
so much
space
to
bar.
see. Let's
What I'm doing to
continue.
run is I'm holding Shift and W.
Find yourself a good
Tap W
location
while
for your
holding Shift.
outpost. The area
go
should
fast.
be relatively flat and have a spectacular view.
So you can
When
see
you
here's
found
the
the
border.
perfect spot, free the mouse.
Alright, so you've kind of got to go through the Althea tutorial here, or she's going to talk in your ear every time you come on until you hit escape. Now I just hit F1 to bring out my harvest tool. If I hit I, you can change what tool's in what slot, right? So I have my harvest tool, I have my deploy construct tool, and I have my refuel tool. I'm going to move this to over here because I have a certain order in which I usually put things. I usually swap out between my maneuver tool and my deploy construct tool because, or no, I'm sorry, the maneuver tool is different. Put that back here in this last slot. My refuel tool is already up. My repair tool will make number 4. So there's a certain order that they like to do things. So let's go back to the center. But you notice when I hit 1 and I put my tool away, I can't see these rocks. But if I hit 1, I can see these are mineable rocks. Anything that's mineable is there. And if I hold the left mouse button, I can mine it. If I hit the center mouse wheel and just lock it down, notice it says auto mode now. That means anytime I point at a mineable rock, it's going to mine it. I don't have to keep holding it down and my finger doesn't get tired. Alright, that's important later. Let's go back. What should I do as soon as I land in my tile? So on Haven, the only tile I can select or collect resources from is my tile, or the tiles that are market tiles. But the tiles that are market tiles, anybody can collect on them, so there's only going to be so much. So you get so much resources, tier 1 and tier 2 that spawn here on your tile, and so you need to take advantage of those. So what is important the first time you land? Well, let's hit F2. It's important to start training immediately. Well, I have 1,000,000 points that I can use. That's awesome, right? So what do I train? I think somebody once looked at all this and decided that if you did the training for everything on here, weapons, radar, piloting, industry, mining and inventory, elements and health points, crafting, ammo, that it would take years to do. Okay, so this is not a short-term option for us. Okay, you're going to want some piloting skills. But wait, I want to be able to harvest the ore off the ground too, so I need some mining and inventory. But wait, I want to build a factory, so I need So we start to see that we're going to be limited in how much we can train, because it's very easy to put a 30-day queue in this in like 10 minutes, right? So what's important to me? All right, so let's look at this. Under mining and inventory, there are certain things that are pretty important. Surface harvester, harvesting those rocks. Everything has a tier 1 through 5. Okay, the tier 1 is like dirt cheap and takes no time at all, right? So if I queue up this talent, let's just queue that up. 1 minute or 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay, that's nothing, right? That's pretty quick. But if I wanted to go to tier 5, it would be quite a long time. We're talking days and days. So to get all the way through there would be crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and queue everything. I could apply these talents, but I'm going to save them for now. and pretend I'm just somebody coming in with no talent points on the book. And it tells you what this does. There's this plus 5% time. When I get here, it's plus 5% more, 5%, 5%, right? It just keeps improving. Optimization gives you more and improve. So sometimes you have to go all the way through 5 to get to like an optimization or a next level. There's mining, where if you're mining out in the asteroids, this is good. But if you're on the surface of the planet doing stuff, this is not useful yet. So if you do anything here, do a 1 or a 2. Level 1, level 2, the short time frame items. I'm just going to do this one to level 2. That's it for right now. And then I want to go to inventory manager. Okay, the nano pack is your backpack where you can store stuff, but you can also create stuff in it, right? It's like a mini factory, right? So I need to upgrade that. So what's this one do? Okay, well, this one increases how much volume I can carry. All right, so let's go to 3,000 on that, right? So notice it's lining them up. If I want to change the order, I could drag this up here and put it in front of that. That's fine, I could do that. Container proficiency gives me more storage volume in my containers. So if I start running out of container room, I can train that up, and the same container I have will actually start to have more room. Okay. How much the items in your nanopack mass, how much they weigh. Okay, this is an important one. How far away can I work from my primary container? Because normally you link to a set of containers that you have in your base or your ship, and when you're out collecting ore and stuff, you don't want to just collect it in your nanopack and then have to run back within range of the container. You want to actually expand this out. So I want to expand this from the standard distance out to 250, or in my case, I'm going to go ahead and queue it up and get it all the way out to 500, because it's 250 and 250. And if I did this one, I would be out to 750. So we're going to go ahead and queue that one up. That's a very important one to get going here. Nanocrafter efficiency. Again, you've got to decide what's important to you. I'm not going to do anything else here right now, but I want to talk about mining units. We're going to get one mining unit with us, and they're not very efficient. It's a small mining unit. I wouldn't worry about putting too much time into charges here right now, but when you get to the point where you can build basic large miners, you're going to want to train this stuff up for these two items right here, the mining unit manager and approved mining unit manager. For example, you get 4 charges per day, right? Let's look at this. So extraction efficiency, this gives you 10%. Charge efficiency, mining unit handling. So if you're actually placing the mining unit, your talents help it work better. And optimization is just a level up. And here's your charge value. Okay, you get 4 per day. Okay, if I want to get more stuff mined, because I can put 8 of the small miners on my territory, and I only get 4 a day, that means I can only charge half of them every day. And you're like, well, what does that hurt? I'm going to show you later on. It hurts you quite a bit if you can't charge more than that. So if we add this one, then that gets us an extra 5 charges, so that gets us up to 9. And if we add this one gets us up to 14. I'm not sure we need that, so I would say if I've only got 1 tile, and that's all I'm concerned about, I'm just going to get this first one. Again, go cheap when you can, because there's a lot of things you got to train, right? So just going to go with that one for now. And then we'll look at these things down the road to improve our mining efficiency when we get to the basic large miner or the uncommon large miner, or it goes through 5 tiers of materials, tier 1 through 5, basic, uncommon, and it just goes through a range there. So we'll go ahead and call this good for now. There's a lot of other things to look at. There's crafting, right? Again, in order to use the factories, you've got to be able to do certain things in industry, right? So in order to run a smelter, I've got to have at least level 1. In order to run industry, like the assemblers or chemicals and assemblers, you've got to be able to be at least level 1 on all of these. You can't build large containers without a large assembly, and you can't build medium containers without a large assembly. So you've got to have a medium assembly to make a large assembly, and you've got to have you can get a small assembly that you can put together to build the medium to build the large. So you see where I'm going with this. It takes a lot of work. You got to have several metalwork industries making you parts. You got to have 3D printers making parts. You've got to produce your electronics with these. If you want to produce fuel, which is hugely important, then you've got to get the chemical industry proficiency. So what I would do, I would go through all of these at some point and get level 1 on all of these at the very bottom of the industry section. These 3 sections: industry proficiency, assembly, and refinery. If you're going to start up a factory, get all of it to level 1. Again, you want to max it out later on. If you've got level 5, you have such a better setup. You can use like a quarter or a half the ore that you would use when you're down here at this level, but just get it so you can at least access the machine to start building stuff for now. You can work on what's important to you later on. And again, there's a lot of stuff that's important here. When you start flying, you're going to want to get to the piloting, and you're going to want, I would personally, I'd skip hover engines. If I did anything in hover engines, I would just do maybe level 1. If I wouldn't even do that though. I would do atmospheric, and I would do space engine pilot. I wouldn't worry about the rockets right now because you're not probably going to be messing with those too much. But I would do the atmospheric engine pilot to get you some efficiency and be able to get up out of the planet better and into space. At least level 1 or 2, or tier 1 or 2, however you want to say it. You know, it doesn't cost that much again to go to the tier 2. It's going to cost you more to go further. If you want to be a good pilot and be able to get out more efficiently, then you're going to want to train these up later. But I would work right now on atmospheric, and I would work on space engine pilot to be able to get into space and travel through space to other planets, because on the planet Haven, you're limited to what's on your tile unless you have a group or a cooperative effort with some other players, so that, you know, hey, one focuses on this thing and one focuses on another, and you all work together to make yourselves all better. That's a good thing. Build a co-op. A co-op would be if you don't really know these people that well and you don't trust them that well. You can still do a co-op, because you can say, hey, I'm going to specialize in containers. You specialize in mining units. You specialize in this. And, you know, we'll all go to each other and just give each other the ore to build what we need, and work from there. So a cooperative effort can still be good, even if you don't fully trust people to have access to your base, because, you know, if you give people access to your base, you got to trust them, because they can rob you totally of everything that you have, every voxel, everything on your base, if you give them too much access. So be careful who you give access to. So I'm not going to talk about talents too much more. There's a whole lot here to look through. Those are some of the key items to look at when you first get into the game. And as you can see, we're already on surface harvesting level 2. So we're actually able to harvest faster as we go along. So let's place our outpost. Okay, so look at that. It just so once I get it here, I can use my page up, page down. I can put it higher, I can put it lower. I don't want it to be underground, so I'm actually going to raise it up just a little bit. And if I, how do I move it? Well, I just hit F1 and bring my tool back out. And we'll actually equip this again. So I want to find a piece of ground where it actually sits pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at this. I think that's pretty good right there. So we're going to go ahead and put it out. We're going to call this the DU Novice Outpost. I'm not going to call it the Pilot Outpost. If you put that underscores and stuff in there, it doesn't like it, so it turns red when it does something you don't like. Like if you put an underscore in there now, it's going to say, oh, I don't like that. So go ahead and deploy that.
Welcome home. You have deployed your outpost. Let's go explore it.
Okay, go up to the door. You can hit F to open it.
Aiming your reticle at anything you see
Notice
and pressing the helper button gives you information about that item or material. Try it now.
She's telling you the same thing I was going to tell you. Hit, look at anything and hit H. It tells you what it is. Fuel tank small.
Isn't that helpful?
Atmospheric.
Notice that the helper gives a lot of information about the door, such as what key to use to open it. The helper button is a great way to get to know how to interact with.
All right, I'm going to stop.
Now head towards the elevator at the waypoint. The elevator is stepping onto an elevator and pressing the jump key or the crouch key.
Okay. Jump
Great.
key goes up.
Elevators can
key
be
goes
linked
down.
together for multiple floors.
Okay.
Some outposts have more than 2 elevators linked together. Experiment with the
brings me up to
elevator
the
you are
top.
standing on by going up or down to explore
So
your
C to go down,
outpost
space to
elevator
go up.
setup.
At least
When
that's
you are
the
ready,
default.
go to the next waypoint. The waypoint may be above or below you.
Okay. Well, before we go to the waypoint, I want to show you. So here's a basic atmospheric engine, extra small. Here's a couple of stabilizers, extra small. But here's the real prize. This early on in the game, a small atmospheric engine. That's a good thing. We've got more ailerons. We've got some small adjusters. That's a great thing. And we've got some extra small adjusters. And we've got some parts up here too. Okay. Well, what if I can't reach those? What if I can't see those? If you hit B, it puts you into build mode. And then you can use your space bar or C, just like on the elevator, to go up or down. And then you can still look at stuff, right? So now I can go wherever I want. Hey, what's that? That's a light. Small, vertical. I'm going to hit B to get out of build mode. Let's go up and follow the tutorial for a few moments. I'm not going to keep you guys on